Cheers to the death. Cheers to the death. Look at that. Death. Death. Had to go in there, you feel me? So we gotta fill up the damn death and put fuel in there now, boy. Cheers to the death of truck movers, I tell you. Stay tuned, yeah. Live roadside guy. So I hear things done changed, y'all, over at TM for real. Things done changed, bro. God damn. They want the contractors to pay for everything, bro, don't they? Shit. Paying for fuel. Now they want you to pay for the death. You know what I mean? Like, now, granted, it's fully reimbursable, yo, but Jesus, geez, for real, like, truck movers, they hit me with a claim like maybe 2 weeks ago, talking about I dropped the truck off and I ain't have a full tank of death in there. I'm looking like, what? Yeah, yo, they try to hit me with a claim for death. So I'm telling her, I'm like, bro, I ain't never put no death in the truck at the final destination ever in life, for real. Like, I ain't never, you know what I mean? I ain't never had to. It wasn't never an issue, a problem. So I don't know, but I guess Freightliner and truck movers, they tired of the shits. So they want a full tank of death now when you deliver to final destination, yo. That shit is wild. So yeah, I had to go ahead and get, you know what I mean, 2 goddamn gallons of goddamn DEF for real. Shit is ridiculous though, yo. You can't make it up, yo. Truck movers, truck movers, truck movers. So, like I say, they hit me with the motherfucking death claim. The only time I ever put death in a truck, I was running for quality. And I was taking a load down to Florida, and the death light came on, but I still had like some miles to go for real. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and put some death in there. So, you know what I mean? I don't run out of death, you feel me? But it wasn't like it was a requirement for me to have a full tank of death. It ain't never been a requirement, yo, as far as I know, yo. So this is some really new, wild ass shit, though, that they try to put on you, you know what I mean? They try to put on the contractors, yo. So we gonna see how this shit pan out for real, because this shit crazy to me. I ain't even gonna hold you, yo. This shit is wild crazy, bro. Well, anyway, I'm on this trip down to Milner, Georgia. Couple dump trucks was out today, not too many, but I went ahead and set these 2 loads to take today for real, because I haven't ran with truck movers in almost a month. So they've been calling me trying to figure out when I was going to take another run with them. And the weather kind of affected the dump trucks today. But not all of them. Like I said, I see some trucks out though, you know what I mean? So to all my dump truckers out there, keep getting that money, man. Keep getting that money. Shit. You know what I mean? If you get a call, go ahead and haul. You know what I mean? If you get a call, go ahead and haul, bro. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie, yo. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna keep it funky. Like I said, I'm doing truck movers right now. My dump truck is just, you know, I ain't getting no work today. You know what I mean? But it's cool. I know my dispatcher gonna probably have some work for me this week. You know what I mean? And my other broker, you know what I'm saying? I kind of got back in good graces. I'm moving back up there on the ladder. You know what I mean? As far as you know, in the dump truck lane, you got, you know, sometimes when you don't take a run with, or you're not available for certain contractors, they bring you down the ladder, you know what I mean? So you got to get back into good graces and, you know what I mean, run with the people you know that's going to pay you on time and, you know what I mean, make sure you take care of. which, you know, is always a good thing for dispatchers to take care of your drivers, yo. Like, even my dispatcher at Truckmovers, I mean, she told me, she's like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I go to bat for you, you know what I mean? As long as, you know, you take pictures, you give us a call, you know, and I'm the type of person, I'm the type of driver, I'm the type of individual that I'm gonna cover my ass, you feel me? Like I said, I've been working in automotive, I mean, you definitely got clientele and customers that will try to get over, so you gotta cover your ass in all instances, man. CYA, cover your ass. So in the truck mover lane, like I say, when I got the claim for the fucking death, I was a little bit perturbed because not only did they hit me with a death claim, they tried to not reimburse me on a drop fuel, talking about the shit was within like 50 or 60 miles, some dumbass shit I ain't even really want to listen to. That shit ain't make no damn sense. Like, they ain't gonna reimburse you the fuel unless you like within 50 or 60 miles or between the drop. I don't know, that shit don't make no damn sense. Somebody come back and explain that whole shit. If you with truck movers right now and you've been having problems with your getting reimbursed your drop fuel or whatever, let me know what the hell going on, because I don't understand this whole you gotta get the fuel within 50 or 60 miles or some dumbass shit they told me one time. I'm looking like, yo, what? I ain't understand that shit. So needless to say, when I was telling my dispatcher, yo, like how y'all was going back and forth trying to penny pitch over $20, she told me, she was like, look, man, you know, if it ain't got no fuel in there and it's supposed to be with fuel, take a picture, send it to me, give me a call, and I'll go to bat for you. And that's what drivers want to hear, yo. And that's for brokers too. Like all y'all brokers out there that ain't trying to go to bat for your drivers, you got us on these shitty ass jobs, or even in the dump truck lane, shit going far as a motherfucker. Yo, you got to fight for some goddamn fuel surcharge, bruh. Like, we ain't trying to be running loaded. When you carrying the load, you're burning more fuel. Like, if you didn't know that, and this is just to my dispatchers and brokers or to anybody who want to get in the trucking lane but don't understand the nuances, when you're carrying a load, you're going to be burning more fuel. When you're empty, you're not going to be burning as much. So, you know what I mean? That's just a gym, a dump truck gym, a trucking gym. So for y'all thinking y'all want to get in the dump truck lane or the trucking lane, and y'all want to just have drivers drive up and down and shit, you gotta understand, when motherfuckers are loaded, we burning more fuel. So all that shit gotta be compensated, you know what I mean, fairly. If y'all ain't willing to compensate fairly, or at least go to bat for your drivers, man, drivers ain't gonna be wanting to work for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I came off a job early last week, yo. You know what I mean? I took one load and got the fuck up out of there. For one, the shit was tight as hell. I'm talking about, bro. It was a complex, apartment complex, cars all over the damn place. Not that I couldn't do it. I mean, I got in there, you know what I mean, got loaded and shit. But to be honest with y'all, I had a license plate issue with my tags, you know what I mean? I'll talk about the tags in another video, but so long story short, I had to renew my plate. So I was really kind of taking a gamble being out there on that job in that area where the boys be hot for real. You know what I'm saying? So needless to say, the shit was tight as fuck. And I got the load, and then I was asking the guys, I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? This shit's so tight, yo, like how many trucks y'all got out here? Because I wasn't going to leave if I was the only truck out there. But he was telling me it was like 3 trucks out there, but shit, he was like, one of them signed out already. I'm like, shit, I don't blame him. So I got my load, and I was going to run it, you know what I mean? It wasn't a bad, it was paying like $150 a load, some shit like that. Going like 15 miles, 12 to 15 miles. But the boys was sitting right out there. Like, as soon as I got the load and came out, bro, the police was posted, just sitting there chilling. Like I say, man, it's an area where it's always like, bro, I ain't want to run the risk of basically getting a ticket. You know what I mean? I was already overloaded, you know what I mean? And who knows? I mean, I ain't never really, I got pulled over and stopped, but luckily, you know, the cops was cool and shit. I ain't know if it was gonna be a case where they try to put me out of service or some dumbass shit, and I'm way the hell 50 miles, 40 miles away from my goddamn home base for real. So I ain't risking. I took the load and signed out for real. Now, to be honest, another reason why I signed out and just took the one load was because of the contract I was working for, the broker rather. Like, yo, if I'm not gonna get paid or if it's gonna be a problem getting paid, because my thing is, okay, I could take the risk and get a ticket. Fuck the ticket, you know what I mean? Pay that shit, whatever. I had insurance, so I ain't no problem. But now if I gotta pay the ticket, one, I don't know how much that ticket gonna be. Number two, when it's time to get paid for this job that I could have potentially or hypothetically got a ticket on, now I gotta hunt down and find my damn broker, because typically, for whatever reason, there's a lot of excuses when it comes to getting paid by this particular broker. You know what I mean? And some of these brokers that do that shit, bro, I'm trying to tell you, they gonna give you excuse. You know what I mean? So my thing is, bro, you know what? Even though we got a good rapport, but the rapport got to be better when it's time to get paid. You understand me? Like, you know what I mean? I don't got a problem doing the job, but when it's time to get paid, we need to get paid on time, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hunt motherfuckers down. You know what I mean? And I don't need to really feel like I should have to do your job, bro. As a broker, your job is to hand out the work, communicate with the foreman or whoever got the job, you know what I mean, the contractor. And when it comes to these drivers, make sure we taken care of, make sure we paid. Understand that some drivers can fuck up and will fuck up some jobs for you. I understand that. Well, then as a broker or as a decision maker, you gotta make a decision whether you're gonna use that driver or continue to work with that contractor or not. As far as I'm concerned, I ain't been on no jobs and fucked up nothing. You know what I mean? And my damn near 4 or 5 years of dump trucking. You know what I mean? And I told this broker that particularly, like, look here, man, I don't fuck shit up, you know what I mean? You know, everything started out gravy, you know what I mean? I got paid consistently, and then I don't know, something happened where as though you lost your marbles. And you forgot that, hey, your job is to pay motherfuckers that did a job, like, you know. And my thing is this, and this goes for everybody, brokers, dispatchers, whatever, like, just be upfront. Like, you can't take this shit personal. Like, we all know is a trucking industry, is a trucking business. We all know we out here to make money. Like, I don't take shit personal. You know what I mean? And I will hope that if anybody out here watching my videos and understanding, like, yo, you got to do what's best for your business, so do I. Now, I do have some dispatchers that will say, yo, hey, man, can you do me a favor, bro? I need you to, man, try to take this load here, and there, you know what I mean? Yo, no problem, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the game. I'm not that type of driver. You know what I mean? Hey, scratch my back, I'm gonna scratch your back. You know what I mean? Look after me one-on-one, I'm gonna look after you on another. You know what I mean? One tree type shit. You feel me? But then you got some companies, some contractors that don't give a ass clutch, you know. It's like, bro, you know where I park my truck at. You know where I'm located. Why the fuck you want to send a nigga 60 miles, you know what I mean, just to get started, yo, when there's a bunch of work within a 30-mile radius, you feel? But then you gotta understand again, you can't take it personally. You might have to go up there and run that 60 miles one time, you feel me? You might have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You might have to do that, bro. Because ultimately, it's all a contractor game. Those contractors are being contracted, and they just like a subcontractor too. So, you know, they got trucks. All their job is to get the trucks on the job site. And generally speaking, if you have more than, you know, one truck, if you're an owner and you got a fleet of trucks, you're gonna want, you know, the majority of your trucks to be on a job close to home too. You know what I mean? And then you want to make sure all your trucks are working before you can actually sub out contracts or sub out trucks. So it's crazy because I just ran into a guy that I don't know him, but he had a truck for one of the contractors I run for every now and then, you know what I mean? And I'm not even signed on with this contractor. It just so happens that I was like, yo, you need any trucks? You know what I mean? Just to inquire. And he was like, man, you know, we can't even keep up, man. We need a whole bunch of trucks. But needless to say, his company, a big ass company. I mean, they got all types of trucks. You know what I mean? Low beds, flat beds, tractors, fuel trucks. I mean, this is a big ass company in Georgia, right? So what he told me, he was like, man, you know, my company, we only got 2 dump trucks ourselves personally. We sub all of our trucks out, which I understand that because I've been on their jobs and I see, you know what I mean, like I rarely see any trucks with their company name on it, except for their other trucks, like, you know, when they hauling oversized freight, oversized equipment, heavy equipment, things of that nature. So I told him, I said, bro, you know, the maintenance of these dump trucks, that shit ain't easy. So I understand, you know what I mean? I promise you that. It ain't about how much money you make, it's how much money can you keep in your pockets. I promise you. But yeah, man, I'm following behind this. I ain't following behind him, but I'm behind. I got my daughter, she my chase driver right now. She behind me, she learned the ropes. And we just down here on the way to Milner. On our way to Milner. On our way to Milner. So just for kicks and giggles, right? I'm only doing 2 trucks today. I'm only transporting 2 trucks. I ain't even think I was gonna get these shits for real. Like I say, I mean, they called me, wondering when I could make another run for them. So I saw that they had some local joints. One of them was going 8 miles. It came in at $20. And like I told y'all before, anybody looking to get in the driveaway or at least get on with truckmovers, counter everything. I don't give a fuck if that shit saying it's going 1 mile. That shit can say 1 mile paying $15. I'm asking for goddamn 30. They might not give it to you, but you never know. They might need that one truck move, bro. And they might need that truck moved a mile. And it might be like a deadline or a goddamn, we need this truck ASAP. I'll give you $30 to move it 1 mile. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. You know what I mean? Even my old, one of my old managers that used to run truck movers, man, he was like, man, ask them hoes for $200. That shit was probably going like 25 miles. He's like, man, ask them hoes for $200. That $200 is gonna be cheaper than them towing that shit. Trust me. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, son. Okay, my daughter doing her thug dazzle behind me, yeah. My daughter doing her thug dazzle, yeah. I knew she'd be a great driver one day. I know it. You know what I mean? You gotta teach the youngins, you feel me? You know, you gotta teach the youngins. It's all about experience, yo, because a lot of these youths, they so involved with social media and the internet, sometimes they get a false sense of reality, yo. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta whip it back into shape, yo. Like I tell my daughter, I say, yo, don't rely on GPS. You feel me? Like, you gotta know the roads. Like that GPS shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. It gives you directions, but you still gotta know the road, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even care if I know where I'm going, yo. Like, I might throw the GPS on, look at the directions, see what kind of area it's taking me to, you know what I mean? You know, so once you know the road, you can know what type of traffic you potentially gonna be dealing with. You know what I mean? And that's what I teach her. And that's what I taught her and my other daughter. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what it is, man. But like I say, man, if y'all trying to get into this drive-away business, man, you know, I'm taking 2 trucks. This one here going like 30 miles. I asked her for like $90 on it, you know what I mean? And it's actually really going 26 miles when I actually did the actual GPS. I did put like $15 of fuel in there because the shit came with 0 gallons, you feel me? So I did do that. And I had to put some DEF in this bitch. Now they say that you know what I mean, you won't get your DEF back fully reimbursable, so we shall see. You know what I mean? We shall fucking see. I hate this part right here, yo. This should be tricky as a bitch for real. Right here, everybody be knowing this spot down here in Griffin. Where that shit split, yo, I swear. This should have had you thinking you're going the right way for real, then you really be going the wrong way. But it's all good. Like I say, I'm doing 2 trucks today. This one paying 90, going like 30 miles. And then after this, I'm leaving, going to pick up another truck. That shit going 8 miles. And I got them to pay me 50. So, you know, 90 plus 50. Fuel surcharge. You do the math. You know what I mean? I got started at like, what time I left out? I left the crib at like 9:30. It's almost 11:30 now. It's 11:25, so 2 hours. And I really wasn't rushing because I got my daughter with me. This is her first time following me as my chase driver, so, you know, I just been taking my time, bro. There ain't no need to rush, man. Ain't no need to rush, bro. Mistakes happen sometimes when you rush. Now, if I had like a lot of trucks lined up or, you know what I mean, something like that, I might be a little bit more on my bop for real, but, you know, I'm just taking it easy today, man. Like, you know, I think some rain coming through, like, it's been on and off, yo. This Georgia weather kind of iffy, yo. Like, I don't know if shit want to rain or not rain, for real. I don't know if shit want to rain or not rain. Like, could you drive? God damn. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I ain't even had to let the nigga over for real, yo. The only reason I let him in front of me is because my daughter behind me. So it's like, all right, I could have really beat y'all, but then he would have been behind me and probably would have cut my daughter off. So I just let the motherfucker speed up to get in front of me. But it's like, dude, come on, bro. Like, it ain't my job to let you on for real, for real. Like my trainer from US Express once said, you're the big fish in the pond, bro. You're the big shark, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you got enough room, yo, you need to speed up and come on the ramp, yo, and get on the goddamn highway, bro. But yeah, man, about to end this video, you know what I mean? If you like the information, you want to get in the trucking, whether it be dump trucking, you want to transport trucks, become a transporter, drive away, work for yourself, independent contractor. There's lanes out there. You know what I mean? Don't forget, I got another channel called Here's the Trucking Truth. Here's the Trucking Truth. Go ahead, subscribe to that channel. I'm already doing some interviews right now, lining some things up, trying to put things in the works. You know what I mean? But I ain't even going to start loading up nothing until I get, you know what I mean, a certain amount of subscribers. Right now, let's try to get this channel to at least 1,000, bro. You know what I mean? I wasn't even taking YouTube serious for real, but, you know, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the comments. All my subscribers, you know what I mean? Continue to stay tuned. I'm going to try to give y'all some more information on working for yourself when it comes to being a trucker, truck driver, independent contractor, owner, operator, whether you want to drive for somebody and be a company driver, and then someday become your own boss and be your own owner, operator. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe, share this video, leave a comment. It's the Fly Roadside Guy, and I'm out.